Hey, Shalom Yadan. I pray that all is well. I wanted to make this video just for you. So let's talk about why you need an evergreen funnel, why it's important, how to set it up, and the differences between evergreen launches and other types of launches. An evergreen funnel is an automated online funnel that will be able to allow you to generate leads into your email list and sell them something on an automated basis. That's pretty much how you want to think about Evergreen. If you have an Evergreen funnel, that means of regardless, of when it is, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, you're able to get leads coming into your email list and buying what it is that you're selling to them all year round. So a lot of times when you're selling an evergreen product online, it makes sense for it to be something that's pretty much timeless. It's nothing seasonal, nothing just trendy and temporary. It's going to be in one season and not another. The best evergreen products are those that you can literally plug it into your email funnel one time and you can rest safely knowing that whether you're at work or on vacation, whether it is summer or whether it is winter, no matter what's going on in the world, there is market demand for what it is that you have to offer. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why you need an evergreen funnel. Well, one of the reasons why you need an evergreen funnel set up as a part of your business is because of the fact that not only does it allow you to make money in an automated fashion when you're not actively working and trading time for money, it also gives you the opportunity to start building a consistent stream. A lot of times with entrepreneurs, especially that are making money online, they may have a product that it is that they have to offer, and they may be doing live launches. And whenever they conduct a launch of a product, they could launch a product in, let's say, January, and they can make a lot of money off of it, right? 4 figures, 5 figures, beyond. But what happens is after that one launch window has closed, they're pretty much in a famine because they don't have any other launch windows where their product is being offered. A lot of times when you're looking at online products, a lot of online marketers will have a tendency to have scarcity in the products that they're selling. So for example, there may be an online course that you're trying to do for real estate. And one of the best things to do is to be able to have it only open for a limited window of time. Because if you leave it open like 24/7 and you just have some link to some course on a website, a lot of people are not going to feel compelled to take action instantly. Even though it may be valuable, and even though you could be giving them a ton of great information, because of the fact that the entry to get in is open-ended, people are not going to be, inspired at that moment to pull out their wallet and then, give you their hard-earned cash to get into your program. So you want to have some element of scarcity. Now I'll get to that in a second. But with an evergreen sequence, this allows you to be able to make money from month to month. Because when someone gets into your email funnel, right, a new user, a new lead gets into your email funnel, when they're getting into your email funnel, everything is new to them. So even though you could have sold a product months ago, to them, it's like you're doing a brand new launch because they're going from one automated email to the next. That's the benefit of having an automated evergreen funnel because, instead of being in this mentality of feast or famine where you'll do another type of launch and then after you close the doors on that, you don't make any more money, by you having an evergreen launch, you are consistently generating predictable revenue from month to month on a consistent basis. And obviously, as you know, consistent revenue is pretty much the lifeblood of any business. Okay. So here's some things to keep in mind when you are thinking about your launch approach. There's two key types of launches that I want to discuss in today's video. We can talk about this more in some of the upcoming accelerator calls, but I really want you to think about this for now. So, number one, you have an evergreen launch, and then you have a live launch. Now, an evergreen launch, it doesn't require your active time. It is something that's already plugged in into an automated email system. And typically, automated launches that are evergreen will generate about 5%, 0.5, big distinction there, 0.5% sales conversion will take place for evergreen funnels. So I'll give you a prime example. Let's say that you have an email list of 10,000 people, right? You're working and you're developing your email list over time. Well, if you have an email list that consists of 10,000 people, right? If you have a 5% sales conversion on that 10,000 person email list, that means that you will get 50 paying customers, okay? That's 0.5% of 10,000. That's the typical standard of the sales conversion of an evergreen funnel. One of the things that you want to keep in mind is typically, although evergreen funnels are good at generating consistent revenue from month to month, one of the email launches or launch sequences that typically has a higher conversion rate is a live launch. Now, if you conduct a live launch where, people will typically all get the offer all at the exact same time. It's not evergreen. It's not depending upon one person coming into your email funnel and seeing something one day, another person seeing something another day. I'm saying you're literally doing a live launch where you're launching your product in real time. Typically, live launches will get anywhere between a 1 to 2% sales conversion. Okay, so it's just a matter of what type of approach that you want to take in order to be able to build out your online business. So if you don't really mind doing like some live stuff here and there and doing some live marketing and doing some promo for the product that it is that you'll be advertising, then in many cases, your live launch in an email funnel will be the most lucrative. That's when you are literally sending your entire email list, the exact same email about when the doors are going to open and when the doors are going to close in real time. Now, again, this is a very important numbers discussion when you're talking about having a launch sequence. When you do a launch of a online product, let's say it's an online real estate course, and that course is anywhere between, let's say, $500 to $1,000. Even if it's $199 to $1,000, you typically want to be able to have a 1-week launch. Okay, so you want to be able to give people from Monday up until Friday in order to go ahead and buy what it is that you're selling. Even if you're on an evergreen funnel that you establish, you'll want to be able to automate the email sequence where they get the opportunity beginning Monday to get in, and then you are letting them know that the doors close for them to make the decision to join by the Friday of that week. Okay, so again, scarcity, taking deliberate action to be able to get your customers to decide whether or not they're going to make a purchase. Whether you do an evergreen funnel or a live launch is totally up to you. So if you're a person that's like not really trying to do a lot of engagement with people directly, you want to be able to like fully just kind of work on something and not have to touch it ever again, you want to do the Evergreen. Okay. The sales conversion will be lower, but if you don't want to do live stuff at all, then do Evergreen. If you don't mind doing, maybe once a quarter live launch, or even less than that, depending upon where you're trying to take things in your online business, you can always do a live launch just for once a week. Okay. Once a week where you're just promoting your launch, you're building up to that launch and going from there. Typically, if you're trying to run a business that will generate anywhere between 6 to 7 figures, I would recommend that you actually have both. I would recommend that you actually have a live launch sequence that takes place maybe on a quarterly basis throughout the year, coupled with an evergreen sequence. So you have an evergreen product that people can get whenever they want to get it throughout the year. And then you will have a flagship course that people can have access to only during a live launch week. Okay, so let me give you an example. I have multiple products. I have a product called the Maximum Productivity System, which is my evergreen product. I have plugged this into my email list, and after a number of days, like maybe 14 days, let's say, every new lead that gets into my email list will be offered the Maximum Productivity Masterclass. They'll be offered that all throughout the year. At any point throughout the year, from the time that they got in, 14 days after whatever time that they got in for the year, they'll get offered the Maximum Productivity Masterclass. Now, when it comes to another of my flagship programs, like let's say your Breakthrough Year, for example, people just cannot get into my email funnel and then get an automatic offer to get in Breakthrough Year. I only have Breakthrough Year available once a year. Okay. And so that's one of the things that you really want to think about when it comes to how you're going to take your online product and what method you're going to use to actually put it out in front of people. Now, again, like I said, typically, if you're selling a product that is anywhere between $500 to $1,000, I would recommend that you try to do a live launch. If you're doing a product that's, let's say, I don't know, $100, $200, maybe a couple $100, you could do an evergreen funnel. And even if you wanted to do a $500 to $1,000 product evergreen, you still could. It's just that your sales conversions are not going to be as high, but that really is all dependent upon you. You know what I mean? You're the CEO of your company, and you will do with it what you will. So you have evergreen funnel and you have a live launch funnel. Decide which approach that you want to take. If you want to do both and build out your company long term, then that's definitely something that you want to think about, and we can discuss in future chats. Let's talk about, for this video, how to go about setting up an automated evergreen funnel. So the first thing that you're going to need in order to have a funnel in place is to be able to have a distribution channel. I would recommend that you set up your email list, which will be the company that does your distribution of all of your emails to all of your leads. I recommend that if you're starting to build an email list for the first time, I recommend using MailChimp. Okay, that's MailChimp.com, chimp like, the animal, MailChimp.com. MailChimp, is very low price. It's extremely user friendly, It doesn't come with a billion different bells and whistles and all of these advanced complexities. I recommend that you just get started with that up until the time that you have an email list that is just so large in size that it forces you to get on a more advanced platform. You know that there's multiple different platforms out there. You have companies like ConvertKit, Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels. You have different email distributors, but you really want to be able to start small and work your way up. So I recommend that you go to MailChimp.com and just setting up an account there. Okay. Now, when you set up this account, there's a couple things that you're obviously going to need. One, you're going to need to create an email list, right? Which is where all of your email addresses from different leads will be gathered into a database. And then secondly, you're going to need a landing page to get leads to opt into your email list. Okay. Now, fortunately, MailChimp offers that. When you get your MailChimp account, two of the things that you're going to receive is a landing page, and then you're also going to set up an automation flow. And I'll provide you with a tutorial video that breaks down exactly how to set up automation in MailChimp. Okay. But the whole point is you want to be able to set up a MailChimp account. And when you set up this MailChimp account, you want to set up your email list. Now, in order for you to really have an automated evergreen funnel, that's when you're going to start using MailChimp's automation feature. It's simply a feature that will allow you to be able to create pre-written emails that will go out to users on an automated basis from the time that you want them to receive it. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that somebody gets into your email list, right? They go to your landing page, you give them some type of a lead magnet, right? Some free offering, free gift that kind of attracts them to be able to opt into your landing page, right? So they opt into your landing page, they've given you their email. One of the things that you can decide to do using the automation software is to have an autoresponder. An autoresponder is basically an easy way for you to send an email to your lead immediately after they have joined your list. So say I join your list, right? I go to your landing page and say, wow, this is something really great. This is a great landing page. I want to take advantage of the free gift that you have to offer. So I give you my name. I give you my email list. I click the opt-in button. And then as soon as I go to my email inbox, I've received an email from you. It'll have your name on it. It's an automatic email that your mailing server has sent out on your behalf that says, hey, Isaiah, this is, Yadan. I want to be able to give you X, Y, and Z over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. And that's a basic autoresponder where somebody's going to automatically receive a response from you after they have opted into your email list. Okay. Now that's one form of automation. So that could be the very first email that you can plug into an automation sequence from the time that somebody joins your email list. Now, what will happen after that is you can set up a second automated email. You can set up a third, a fourth, a fifth. You can send people emails that essentially allows you to reach out to them on a consistent basis so that you can eventually offer them a product or service to sell. Okay, so let me give you an example of how I have my Evergreen funnel set up. And you can just totally replicate this and go from there. So I have a landing page that people opt into. They opt into the landing page and they will immediately receive an autoresponder email from me through MailChimp that says, hey man, thank you so much for joining my list. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to receive my best free content about getting out of debt, starting your own business, and maximizing your productivity. So for right now, I just want you to be able to send me a response back and let me know what your biggest challenge is and what your most important question is when it comes to your personal success. And then I'll send them for the next 5 days. I will send them a free course that I've put together, free email-based course called The Empire Builder. Okay, it's about building your empire. It's a step-by-step daily program that shows all of my email list, how to be able to get out of debt, how to be able to, get a better job, so many different things. I'm giving it to them at that free level. And I'm loading it with a ton of really good content. I'm establishing rapport so that way they could say, man, if Uzziah is giving me this much good content and it's all for free, how much better value could I get from him if I were to take the step forward in one of his paid courses? Really at this point, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm more so just trying to establish rapport. I'm not trying to ask for marriage on the first date. Typically it takes about 7 to 10 different points of communication with a person before they have ever built up enough trust with you to be able to buy any of your products or services. So, I'm just sending them these daily emails. Typically, I'll send them emails from Monday to Friday. I don't send emails out for the weekend. I try to give them a little bit of a break. So week 1, I'm sending them the Empire Builder, right? From start to finish. The following week, I will send them a series of automated emails about the subject of productivity, okay? I'm really trying to get their mind focused on time management. Now, one of the reasons why I want them to focus on time management is, one, time management is super critical to business ownership. And so if I'm going to build a platform that helps Black men become business owners, I really have to first get them to understand the significance of mastering their time, right? So I'm then going to really niche into one specific subject, one specific topic that I can really get them bought into. And once I do that, the third week, I'm then going to offer them my best paid product on productivity. Okay, so let's recap this automated funnel. Watch this video as many times as you need. Week 1, I'm giving them my Empire Builder series. I'm giving them great value right out of the gate that makes them comfortable with being a part of my email list. Week 2, I'm niching down to one specific topic, the subject of productivity, and I'm giving them the best that I have to give on a free level. See, I'll take all of my content, and 98% of my content I will put out on a free basis on free platforms. But the top 2% of my content, i.e. this video, I will keep that exclusively for my paid clientele. So when I'm giving them this week 2 email sequence and I'm just loading them up with productivity content, 98% of my best productivity stuff I'm giving to them during that week. The other 2% is going to be offered to them the following week in a weekly launch sequence where I'm promoting the Maximum Productivity Masterclass from Monday to Friday. Week 1 of my email series, I'm giving them the Empire Builder. Week 2 of my email series, I'm introducing them to productivity. Week 3, I'm now in position to give a sales campaign about getting into my best productivity masterclass to date. Okay. And this is how I go about getting sales throughout the year. Okay. So just feel free to replicate that. Obviously, it's going to take some time as well as some thoughtfulness for you to really start building out your Evergreen series. But this is what I would do if I were you, if you're trying to be able to sell people an online product about a specific topic. So number one, what you really need to do is you need to first focus on developing your course. What is it that your online course that you're going to sell to people, what is that going to talk about? Okay. What is it going to include? What's going to be the subject matter? Like, what is the transformation that you're going to provide to paying customers in terms of what they're going to get out of your program? Now, once you've identified that, right? Even if it's at a high level, you don't have all of the nuts and bolts figured out just yet, okay? What you want to do is you want to be able to start from there, and you want to be able to reverse engineer, okay? This is very, very, very important. I know it could be easy to get lost in the volume of everything that's being said in this training video, but I really want to make this something worth repeating. Start thinking about your online course first. And then once you've identified what you're going to put in the course, then map out your Evergreen funnel. Okay, I can only tell you this from experience. There's been times where I have just made a complete headache in coming out with a funnel first, only to realize that the course that I was actually leading people to was not congruent with all of the content that I was giving them leading up to that. The only way that you can make sure that you have a logical sequence of step-by-step information that you're giving to leads so that the next logical step is for them to buy a program that deeper goes into that subject is to actually have the program thought through first, and then you're just creating steps leading up to the program in your email funnel. You're just reverse engineering, okay? So create your course, think about what that's going to be about, and then just give people previews and bits and pieces of information and content along the way. Okay, so again, as an example, I have a product and it's a maximum productivity masterclass. In this masterclass, it talks about how to be able to manage your workload, what tools you need to use to optimize your workday, and the mindset that you have to have in order to be a productive person. I talk about all of this in extensive detail in that productivity masterclass. But before people are ever offered the masterclass, I'm first going to tell them the significance of time management. I'm going to show them the pain points of what will happen if they're not effective at time management. And then I'll proceed to provide one email after the next about different tips and different strategies involving time management, okay? I will create relevant emails that people can really relate to and identify with and say, man, that's me. Man, that's my problem. Man, I needed to know this. I'll provide them with a lot of great content, information that they can walk away and plug in right from there. And for those that have been following my email sequence that want to continue to double down on getting the best of what I have to offer, After they've digested those emails, that's when they will start to get emails that's selling to them the Maximum Productivity Masterclass. Okay. So my emails leading up to the masterclass, it builds upon the masterclass, right? So you'll pretty much want to do the exact same thing. I think that that's a good point to leave it there in this video. To kind of recap what I've been discussing, if you decide to use an automated evergreen funnel, you're first going to need to get set up with your email list. And you really want to think about what your course is specifically going to talk about so that you can build out and reverse engineer your email funnel and your landing page that will get people into your email funnel from there. Okay? Don't try to connect the dots going forward. Don't create a landing page first, then make emails, and then say, oh, well, what am I going to sell to people? No. Create the course first, like the idea of the course first. Then create your funnel series afterwards, and then your landing page third. Okay. And here is something that is of the utmost importance as we close this out. You want to build a course that addresses a market need that solves a problem that people want to solve. You must create a course that addresses a market need that addresses a problem that people want to solve. Okay? So you might have an idea of a course right now in your mind, right? But the issue is, what if, you're just trying to spout information that people don't want, right? What if people don't want the solution to the problem that you are discussing? Before you go off and, delve too much in going down the rabbit hole of creating a course, what you really need to think about is, okay, what does my target market want? Okay. So there might be specific questions that your target market may have about real estate, right? Find out what their burning problems are, what their biggest issues consist of, and then come up with a solution that addresses that burning problem. Okay? You don't have to, talk about all things real estate all in one course, but what you do need to do is you need to be able to solve a problem for a person in a way that is transformational, where people will actually want to pay you real money to learn how to do what it is that you are offering. Okay, so make sure that you're solving a burning problem. It addresses a market need, which means you're giving people something that they would want. Okay, and once you have done that, then that's when you want to reverse engineer. And if you're copying my sequence, which I would recommend starting off, you can have an evergreen funnel that consists of 2 to 3 weeks worth of pre-written emails. You write out those emails, you plug them in to MailChimp. Okay, you start getting people opted in to your email list through your landing page, and then MailChimp will automatically do its job in pushing out different emails day by day. Okay, the technical part of how to set this up, I'm going to send to you in a different video. Right now, I just want you to understand the strategy. Okay, I want you to understand the framework of what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and just think upon those things. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to get back in touch. All right. Take care.